Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's Gord here, and I wanted to share with everyone my wonderful experience of the last week now in my 4,000 hour challenge on how to qualify for the YouTube Partner Program. Although my motivation is not about AdSense qualification, it's about my personal journey to up-level my game on YouTube. You're seeing me here now live, which is something I'm not used to doing often, or even following chat, but I overcame a few hurdles with the great help of my friend Dave Stelma there to help prepare me to go live now. Getting familiar with the OBS and the ins and outs, and so it was a bit of a challenge to get clean, but I'm here and happy to be here, and I wanted to share with everyone that I took on my challenge shortly after the announcement on January 16th about the changes to the YouTube Partner Program, and I had comfortably qualified for the 1,000 subscriber level because I had 1,700 and something subscribers, and now I have 1,890 something. Now I'm going to be close to 1,900, so I well qualified there. But because I'm in a very focused niche area with the kind of tutorials I do, I'm short on qualifying for total hours, which is 4,000, and I started out with about 3,111 hours on January 16th, and I started to share the challenge with everybody out there, and I wanted to show people that we all have it in ourselves to try and step up our game and find ways to maybe overcome some things that we had been putting on ourselves as limitations, and to maybe move things a little quicker. And for me, I needed a push, like a goal, something like this with a finite time, and something to strive for. For whatever reason, I've been procrastinating in the past to set goals, and I'm starting to get better. And so here we are about a week and a few days into the challenge. So it started on January 16th. At that time, I had 3,111 hours. And now, as of January 27th, I have 3,406 hours with what I'm calling my magic number, 594 left to achieve between now and February 20th. So I'm grateful. There's been such a great support from a lot of people to help me move forward and explore my content and enjoy it. And I'm trying to deliver a lot more to everybody, and that's why I wanted to talk today about some of those things I believe that people can do to get to, in this case for me, 4,000 hours pretty quickly. So I want to first quickly go over a few of the things that I did to up-level my game. So one of those things, well, actually, before I get started, I'm going to say hi because I'm getting to be familiar with this. I see there's Pam Duthie and Dave Stelma and Jerry and Linda's Place. Thank you all for joining. And I see Cepeda Media, welcome, and Creator Fundamentals. Hi, Dan. Thanks everyone for joining, and I really appreciate you all being here. And so I'm going to continue sharing some of these things and make them and give some context in reference to how I see that they can help anybody, help improve their qualifying hours or just to grow their channel in general. So in the past, I've done some collaborations, and I know that to increase one's exposure, it's a good thing to do additional collaborations with others that are in alignment with your channel, whose goals are in alignment with your channel, and yours in alignment with theirs in terms of what kind of collaborative activity you would partake in together. So I did a few of those last week, a couple with Naomi Skarzinski, and I'm working on another one with Pam Duthie. So what I'm seeing is all of these things take time, and as part of wanting to grow and meet the challenge, not only will collaborations help me get more exposure and help the other people's channels, But I've also found that it also puts a bit of a challenge on me because it takes more time to participate in those things and do the work. So I wanted to also get my own next video going, and I did my sort of research and was starting to put it together, and I find that I can do a better job, in terms of getting content out more quickly in something like a collaborative effort, because it doesn't involve all the dressings and work that you need to do if the collaboration is to go on someone else's channel. So they have a lot of extra work to do in terms of getting their SEO done, and all the preparation work for images and other things, and do the stuff that you have to do to upload and properly get your video ready to compete in the space of YouTube out there, plus the distribution activities and promote it and all the rest. So of course you support that effort, but I find that doing the collaborations doesn't involve as intense an effort as you would need to do your own videos. Unless, of course, you're just a natural that does live stuff all the time, and I'm not used to that. And part of me being here today is about stepping up and doing that very thing. So this is like my second time going live on my channel in the last week, second or third time if you include the Sunday. So that by doing these kinds of things like the collaboration, you can start to get more exposure, which should help attract more people to come and check you out and see if there's some interesting stuff to learn about on your channel. So next I have oh yes, one of the other powerful things that I wanted to do to help increase my exposure out there was to start to do interviews with other people. And I've had a great passion to do this. I'm very inquisitive by nature, and I've done a couple before. I did one with Nick Nimmin several months back, which was like my real first experience going live and interviewing somebody. And I had a ball and I really loved it. And I knew in my heart I wanted to do more of that. But for whatever reason, working through the problems like I did today with OBS and trying to, just be ready and prepared for the interview with the other person, and arranging it and working out all the kinks always before going live. And with my perfectionist mindset, I also have a bit of a fear of things going wrong. And I had to let go of a lot of that because of the fact that I want to do more interviews and meet a lot of cool people and bring some great wisdom to the people that watch me on YouTube. And so yesterday I did a fantastic interview with Eileen Smith on YouTube content strategy, and that was a ball of fun. And we had trouble right at the get-go. I was trying to utilize Zoom and OBS, and we had some audio trouble and other things. And for 20-25 minutes, we fumbled it, meaning I fumbled it, because I wasn't able to solve the problems. And I normally would have had a little meltdown there, but I didn't. So it's progress in a weird way. And because I was able to get through that, it gave me a little more courage, because today I'm here live on OBS with a setup that otherwise might have been a little tougher for me to do in the beginning. And I'm seeing there's more people here. I'll be gradually looking over at the chat, assuming I can get it to be visible here while we're talking. So just bear with me. I'm just checking for a moment. And that's another thing, always feeling the need to always feeling the need or the urgency to fill the air with me talking. That's something I'm going to have to get used to. So I see solo vloggers here. Thank you for coming, and let's continue. So I was talking about doing interviews. So yesterday I had Eileen Smith, and I did have a plan B, which was her suggestion to do a Google Hangout. And after 20 minutes playing and me getting all stressed out and not succeeding with solving the audio problem, we went on Google Hangouts, which I hadn't even used before, and she helped me through that, and then things went off great. So I had to, for my personal growth, because of my perfectionist nature and sometimes fear of failing and things not going perfectly, I had to surrender over to that and just go with the flow, which was a tough thing for me because of the mishap. But I learned a lot that, it's no big deal. And people, I'm told, appreciate. Oh, wow. Super chat. My first ever. Thank you, Dave. Much appreciated. Um, and, and I appreciate that it's okay to make mistakes, and technology can mess up. And that's part of the reality of dealing with going live. It's spontaneous and anything can happen. And so I'm trying to overcome my challenges of having to have everything perfect. I'm sure Dave could attest. I spent over, I'm sure, an hour fiddling through things, asking all kinds of questions, wanting to know every little detail about how this is to work out. And I didn't have access to all the answers, and that's okay. So I made it, and so I just wanted to share people with that even if you have the fear of going live and pressing the the record button or the start streaming, you got to do it, because you'll get over those things a bit at a time, and by experiencing and doing it. And that's, again, part of what my challenge is all about. So I want to, and by the way, after I just finished going through a few of these things, I'm happy to entertain some questions if anybody wants to ask. And let's see how we're doing. That's great. Okay, everybody's having fun in the chat. And, aside from just, getting the will and over the mindset of the little things that can go wrong and having to press that start streaming button, the fact that I'm sitting here solo right now was also one of those things to overcome for me. I didn't want to be in front of the camera and have to fill all the time myself unless I was prepared with all kinds of details. I still have my details. This is like the information from my post that I did today and shared on Facebook about my journey so far. But, I'm in the thick of it, and this is something I know a fair bit about because I'm living it. So it's a great opportunity for me to come out and share. And so I think, if you have that same kind of fear about going solo and filling the air, try to find something, an opportunity that you can use that will challenge you. And it doesn't have to be something too adventurous or daring, but just starting and getting live and having an experience will help you. And just like I'm doing today, going solo as compared to the interview I did yesterday is a different experience, and I think a little more challenging, because I'm just looking at this camera at all of you, and all I see are these little blue frame lights telling me I'm live. So I always find this interesting. And wow, look, there's more people joining in the chat. Thank you, everybody. And next we have, yes. So in my discussion yesterday with Eileen Smith, we were talking about how can people, get their awareness out there, because I've always been just using a few Facebook groups and my profile page on Facebook to communicate that I'm publishing a new video. And I want to do more than just promote my video on Facebook. And I really want to start to do a lot more posting and publishing about my journey and my adventure, and not just only about my videos. So that's why today I posted a nice long one sharing my journey to hopefully show you all of these steps that I'm taking to move forward. And because I did that, I'm going to be more willing to promote, to communicate my journey and behind the scenes stuff and other interesting stuff about the tutorials and the material I want to teach and share, and other areas that I want to explore. So I plan to be a little more active in social media posting, and that will help grow connection and people get an interest to explore you more. So just like I would say, hey, if you like this, go check me out, subscribe to my channel on YouTube and see what's going on there, or go check out my website at gordisman.com and see what kind of cool things I can do for you and work with you. So, we have to find, the ways to get more active in getting yourself out there. And so this challenge is pushing me on all fronts, which are gonna help a lot, because I'm all in on using YouTube as one of the sort of foundational pieces to helping me grow my business in doing the work in video editing, video creating, and helping people do video marketing for their business and YouTube strategy work and helping people go live on YouTube. And so this is, all helping you to get more awareness about me. And I encourage everyone else to consider finding their way to utilizing live as a forum to connect with your audience more. So I need to do this more. So you're going to see more of me at least once a week in the short term. I'm going to be doing this aside from probably an interview each week now. You're going to see me do an update like this next week where I'm going to share with you those things that I did on this journey in terms of the challenge to 4,000 hours and how to get there fast. So I'm hoping people will enjoy to see that. And the other thing is I also started recently using Instagram, but so far I've only been putting out like mini versions of my video, like less than a minute, and sharing that with a nice graphic. So, hopefully one of the ways I can step up there is to just do a little more generalized communication on other things and not only about my videos. So that's going to be a challenge coming forward for me. And then I also started to post on Twitter. Eileen was saying that it's been a very effective platform for her. And so, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and now I'm going to start to use my Twitter. So there are so many avenues. And what's going to be interesting is to see how I juggle and how participative I am in the different platforms and trying to balance a schedule to do all the different things. And behind the scenes, I have a lot of work I'm doing on my website with my good friend and web-skilled friend, Jamie Noodleman, who's helping me to evolve that, and Daryl Stern helping me in doing some more stuff on marketing. So a lot's going on. It's not just what people see out here. It's fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I wanted to share. And so I'm going to try and see if anybody wants to throw some questions I'm happy to answer and share more information about the journey as it fits. And I want to say that aside from all of these things where I'm pulling myself outside the comfort zone, I'm calling it outside my comfort zone. This is all work to do in addition to still creating just awesome content for your community, because if you keep creating more videos, that's going to be the key to your growth and learning from things like your analytics and your comments that people provide for you, and being a practitioner that not only produces product but also studies what you can learn about what you're putting out there. Look at things like your retention time, your watch time, see the different sources, see what kind of comments people are giving, seeing where people are dropping off in your videos. Maybe you can do stuff to up your game, and always try to refine things. And for me, I need to explore, to go into continuing to do experiments, and I really love that. And so I'm trying to do more experiments as we go forward in terms of my content, because a good part of my last year has been focused on doing things like Camtasia tutorials, but I've also done my share of interviews and other material around YouTube. So you're going to see more content around YouTube and more stuff on video marketing. I started something like a social video playlist on my channel, which has some videos about doing memes and Facebook ads and other stuff. So you're going to see a lot more diversity of content coming from me, because to me, it's not just about being, a great video editor and creator, but it's also about being able to fire in the other areas that you want to use the video in, for example, in online marketing and helping to grow your business. And I can help you in a lot of these areas, and I'm going to produce more content that's going to be helpful in all those areas. So also, if anybody has an interest in suggesting content ideas based on their experience and exposure to my channel, feel free to send me an email email at gord@gordisman.com, or just go to my website, gordisman.com. You can send me information there or throw a comment on any video. I'm really open. I want to hear more from you all and learn how we can, work together so that I can serve you better. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the chat, so bear with me, and if I can try and see what kind of questions we have. So, okay, I can see that the chat roll is slightly cut off, so I'll have to fix that next time. Oh, looks like Jerry and Linda tried to go live tonight, but I don't see what happened. But it's great that you started, and I can just say that for me, I'm starting to feel more comfortable each time out. So even now, I'm looking a little off and moving around. Hey, Rodney, welcome. Rodney joined us there recently, and I'm looking to see who else. So Pam here. How did I get into all of this? That's a great question, Pam. So I got into the whole YouTube thing as a result of having left the corporate world years ago, and I was like an IT manager director in a business intelligence group in my last job, working for a large corporation. And they let me go just as my pension was starting to build, and I had delivered a huge project that won a global award from Oracle. And I was feeling higher than a kite on the top of the world. And then, poof, after the holidays at the beginning of the year in 2010, back then, I was let go. And I realized at that time, after seeing several other managers and director people in the IT groups, because this was a huge organization, at the time, 17,000 employees around the world, that I needed to take control of my own destiny. So the last several years have been involved me exploring all kinds of things, a lot of stuff in the health industry, because I wanted to restore my health, and I met some great people there to help me to get to another level of my health that's enabling me to be able to enjoy doing what I'm doing now. But I discovered I still wanted to get back to my tech roots, but I didn't know I had such a passion for creating and teaching people. And I had done a lot of that in consulting in the IT world. And then I discovered my creative side when I started to explore video starting about 3 years ago. And I just had a crazy passion for it, and had some great mentors in the Learn Camtasia group with people like Lon Naylor and Michelle Shane, and coaching from people like Brian G. Johnson in the last couple of years. And I just got super excited. I said, wow, I can do something to help other people in business and help them grow, and bring my wealth of experience from years of being a practicing consultant, and now with well-developed skills in the video and YouTube and video marketing space. I'm really excited because I'm in control of my own destiny, in the sense that the only person that can fire me is me right now. So it's very exciting. I hope that was useful, Pam, to give a little insights. And I'm looking here. Okay, so I'm seeing here that Sydney Mel says, I'm far from the threshold. Okay, I'm going to see if I can do something to improve my side of the screen to get the chat to appear a little bigger, just while we're talking. So see here, this is something new for Gord. And watch this. Wow. Here we go. I'm going to be partially cut off, but boom. Now I can see it all. There we go. A step at a time. So, hi Gord. I'm so far from the new threshold requirements, I've decided to stop counting and concentrate on just creating great, consistent content. I know that will work and it'll pay off. I totally agree, Sydney. Is it Sydney Mel or Sydney? I apologize if I got that incorrectly. You're 100% right. I should share with everybody that I started in earnest working on my YouTube stuff now about 19 months ago. And for a long time, the growth was extremely slow in the subscribers. And I kept producing video. And I went through a lot of ups and downs, wondering, 6 months in, 1 year in, a year plus in, should I just throw in the towel because I'm not getting the results? I'm looking all around, comparing myself to other people, like the Nick Nimmons and Brian G. Johnsons that are getting thousands and thousands of subscribers, and my growth was much slower. But then I realized they had very focused niches, and mine was, starting to get focused, but in a smaller area. And I started to realize we're all swimming in our own lane, running our own race. And it was very important to me to stay true to what made my heart sing. And that was, as I've been going over a good part of the last year, I did over 22 now, I think, Camtasia tutorials, and I'm very proud of them. They're evergreen, and they're helping a lot of people. I'm getting a lot of feedback, and those videos rank in a lot of them in the top 5. If some of them still, most of them all in at least the top 10, if not the top 5, and several number 1. And what I want people to understand by appreciating is that different niches will have different results, and the demographic that's appealing to you will also affect it. So if you're appealing to a much younger crowd, your numbers may blow up crazy much more quickly. It all depends on, who's out there watching, as well as in the discovery process. So I agree with what you were saying, Sydney. Be focused, enjoy, be consistent, and still go after what it is you want to do. What the interesting thing is that if you start to get into a mindset, well, I just want subs and hours watched and grow only on those kind of things that are going to help me get AdSense, well then, although yes, you want to earn income, your motivation shouldn't only be that. I mean, or because it can be quite a while depending on the size of your niche and what you're doing and how you're evolving in your own personal competition, if you want to call it that, in your own game. And the more you focus on yourself and the less you look on what others are doing, the more you're going to come into your own and produce a product that you're going to be happy with and is going to serve your audience. And do your best to engage with the audience and find out what they're looking for. And I want to add a comment about that on engagement. So let me see here, a few more questions. Maybe something to look at the next time. Okay, with headphones only getting sound on one side. Okay, well, thank you, Rodney. I will definitely check into that. My setting is on mono, so we'll have to see what that is. So the thing I wanted to say, Sydney, was about engagement. For the longest time, in the first 6 months plus, I was getting so few comments on my videos and not a lot of likes, and I was like measuring everything by every little tick up in a statistic. And then all of a sudden people started to participate more people started to discover, and you don't know where that discovery is going to come, whether it's through search, or in my case, I've had some people feature my videos on websites now, which starts to generate all kinds of extra traffic. And I started to get a huge blip and move up in November, and at first I didn't really have a clue where that was coming. So I realized there's all kinds of other ways of getting exposure out there to help drive traffic to your site. And in this case, it was just others discovering my work, and it wasn't about me seeking someone out. Like, although there are strategies out there to want to go guest blog and find other ways to participate in other people's worlds that can help you get discovered, in this case, this happened on its own. And I'm grateful for that. And this is why I'm saying you don't know when things can start to speed up and when that discovery is going to happen. But keep trying to learn from the people around you. Look at what your competition, or what you consider to be your competition, is in your niche, just to learn some ideas for you to take to move yourself forward. Not to focus on their numbers per se. Maybe you're studying some people that are successful, yes, and of course you look at the numbers, and that's part of a gauge of what they're doing, plus looking at some of their content. But you can learn about, think problems to solve and the kind ideas for videos to do by studying their work, but still always, work on putting out the best consistent product that you can for yourself. Okay, so again, Rodney, thanks. I'm going to... it's Mel in Sydney, Australia. Okay, Mel, I got it now. I'll be better next time. Of course, assuming the memory is working very well. But thank you for the correction. I appreciate that. So, any more questions? Oh, my executive trainer. That's Jamie. Welcome, Jamie. I hope you're still here. And if anybody has some other interesting questions to share, ask me. Please do. Don't hesitate. Just going to look see if there's anything else I wanted to communicate on what I have written so far here. I think I've covered most of it. So yes, Rodney, I am using OBS, and yesterday I wanted to do my interview live with OBS, but I had some problems with audio and getting the second person's audio feed to come in. And what was so amazing about Community, and this is why I really appreciated it, some people from Eileen Smith's community were on there, and they're experts in OBS. And so I've got a few names to reach out to. So it's amazing how just going through troubleshooting an issue live, that people can be present in your world, and all of a sudden you have an opportunity to help you solve a problem. And I've watched many videos on OBS, and I haven't really seen anything about dealing with trying to integrate Zoom. I hope it can be done to the degree I was trying to. I was 1 inch away, just the audio aspect. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to make a video to share with everybody, because Zoom is a great free tool for doing an interview with someone. And I know Jamie, my executive trainer, he's done a lot of Zoom interviews, and I've done Zoom interviews, but they've all been pre-recorded. I want to do Zoom live, and that's going to be fun once that gets worked out. And there's Carlos. It takes time to build a community, but sometimes it's hard when you see zero engagement. Yes, I totally agree. In fact, Carlos, that's one of the fears I have in going solo. I get out here and I'm just talking to the camera, my friend, whoever is out there, and there'd be no one there. And that thought in it alone starts to make you have a little anxiety, wondering where is everybody. But we should never forget that there's the replay, and the replay lives on. And as long as you're coming to do a live stream and bring some good value in what you're going to communicate, let that go, because there's the replay, and people are there, and they're going to explore you, and we get better by each experience out. So don't let that concern you. It was a big thing that held me up, and this is part of what I'm wanting to share with people, to challenge themselves. Let go of some of that mindset thinking that may hold you back. I've worked with Professor Nez over the last year and change, and he's all about mindset. He does a lot of videos. His channel's really cool to get some videos and listen to him on advising on how to deal with things like this, because he does his own show, a Mindset Live show with his YouTube channel, as well as a channel with that he does with Ross Brand called Ross and Nez. So there's a lot of great people to learn from out there that are doing this in a much bigger way, and trying to help us all get better at the skills. So there's always opportunity out there. Okay, Jamie says live via Facebook works well with OBS Zoom. I experience a bit of a lag, but it definitely works well. Okay, so that's good news. So I'm hopeful if you can do that, then we should be able to get Zoom functional on YouTube. It was just an audio issue to resolve in the end, so I'm looking forward to sorting that in the next few days. So Rodney says, if I unlock the mono setting, my sound should be on the left and right side. If you know how to do, I do that. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. I guess I'll know in a moment if that setting is able to be activated live just by me doing this while we're on. Oh, actually, it's on stereo. It's on stereo, Rodney. So, yeah, it's on stereo. So that's not it. I apologize. I'll have to look into it after. But thank you again for mentioning that, and I'll explore that. Thanks, Rodney. And so, again, if anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to put them in. And just to give you a little hint about what's coming next week. So I'm about, I don't know, 1,891 or so subs before I went live, I think. And I'm going on a special live that I'm going to produce on Wednesday with Dale L. Roberts, who has an amazing channel in self-publishing. And Dale just recently passed 2,000. In fact, he's at 2,300 subs and soaring and doing really well. And we talked about that we were going to do a special live to talk about other things related to, what's happened between 1,000 and 2,000 subscribers in terms of getting to that level, and how have things changed, what have we learned about ourselves in the journey from there. So there's going to be more insights about how to grow your channel and the experiences and how we're growing and handling this stuff and what lies ahead. So I wanted to share that. And Pam, who's here on the chat, she and I are working on a nice collaboration that's going to be going up on her channel. I have my own video to release. It's coming on some great resources on where to find sound effects, royalty-free sound effects, and some of the sites I recommend. And then I've more videos I want to produce. What's funny is, for the longest time through November and December, for example, I was only putting out one video a week, although it was a deeper dive tutorial style video. Now I'm all of a sudden putting out multiple pieces of content in a week, and a few of these are live, something I never thought I would get to this level of frequency. And I'm hoping to do at least one more interview next week. So on the March to February 20th, as you can see, I'm really trying to challenge myself. Very similar to when I did the Tube Ritual Challenge, when that Facebook group started, and Brian put the challenge out to everybody and said, whether you can do a video a day or whatever number of videos a week, the whole game is about challenging yourself to take your performance to the next level. That 30 days had a profound effect on me. I think I did about 12 or 13 videos, and boy, did I stress and learned a lot about my process and how I was editing, and I was constantly thinking about how to refine the process of what I was doing, and that's an ongoing thing for me. And I highly recommend to people that as you work through what you're learning and refine your process, to document it. Because as you grow and take on new things, sometimes you may not do a particular activity or execution for a while, and then you go, ooh, how did I set up OBS again to run with Zoom? And so, if you make the right proper effort to organize yourself and keep that content, that information accessible and organized, it's going to help you bring more efficiency. At some point in the future, it would be great to be so busy and the money flowing from my services and consulting work be such that I can hire out some of the work to VAs and maybe even give up part of the editing, something that I have a great passion about because of the creative side of that. So I'm just keeping my mind open and regularly trying to look on how to improve to go forward. See, so look at that. So Pam says she's publishing, I think 4 times a week. I mean, that's awesome. And I'm sure, Pam, at first, did you start scripting, or were you just live from the get-go? I mean, these are interesting things. Different strokes for different folks, as they say, because some of us didn't start out with let's just flip the camera and have fun. And I have a feeling, from Pam's personality that I've seen, she really enjoys it, and I think part of the spontaneity excites her, and so I think that's pretty cool. And let's see here. So I think I've pretty well covered everything and shared a fair bit today with about sharing and letting everyone know about my quest to go for the 4,000 hours on February 20th. So in summary, I want everyone to know that I'm going to do this as a weekly communication, and I'm going to produce a nice summary post on Facebook so that people can understand and see what I'm sharing on my journey as I experienced, a little out of your comfort zone, but may help you make progress that's in alignment with your goals and help you move forward. Because I think it's really about personal challenge. And although I chose to use that 4,000 hours qualifying element in the YouTube Partner Program, for each person, it'll be maybe a different goal or aspiration that will inspire you to set your goal and go for it. And I'm grateful that all of you share your time and come here on the live stream to be with me and learn about my journey, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you want to find out more about me, you can go to my website and check out. I do not only do I do special package for you, what I call YouTube Ready, that helps get people from scratch or overcome any tech problems and other things, right up to being able to press record and be skilled to be putting out their optimized content. I also do editing for people and create videos for them, as well as one-on-one coaching. So any which way that you want to work with me, if it interests you, great. If not, that's okay, because I love what I'm doing in learning and educating and helping everybody. And it's been such a joy to be here today with all of you. And I'm going to see you next time. And the next update will be next Sunday. So cheers, everyone, and take care.